Hi. Hello. Um. Where do Americans, Canadians, and Australians really come from? Let's go back thousands of years and uncover the human journey behind these modern nations. Have you ever wondered where the people of the United States actually come from? Or how Canada became one of the most multicultural countries on Earth? And what about Australia, a land that looks Western but has some of the oldest cultures in human history? Today, we'll explore the ancient migrations, the colonial era, and the waves of global movement that shaped America, Canada, and Australia into what they are today. 1. The United States, the true melting pot. Long before skyscrapers, Hollywood, or modern cities, North America was home to indigenous peoples for more than 15,000 years. The first peoples. The earliest humans are believed to have crossed the Bering Land Bridge, a frozen path that connected Siberia to Alaska during the Ice Age. From there, they spread across the entire continent, forming hundreds of unique nations: the Apache, the Navajo, the Cherokee, the Sioux, each with their own languages, traditions, and ways of life. The arrival of Europeans. Centuries later, between the 16 and 1800s, Europeans began arriving in large numbers. The English, the Irish, the Germans, the Dutch, the French, and the Spanish in the southern regions. They brought new political systems, religions, and technologies that shaped the early foundations of the United States. The African diaspora. But America's story also includes a painful chapter. From the 17 to the 1800s, millions of Africans were forcibly brought to America through the transatlantic slave trade. Their labor built much of the early economy, and their cultural influence shaped American music, food, language, and identity in ways that remain powerful today. Mass immigration. After independence, the United States became a destination for people from around the world: Italians, Chinese, Japanese, Eastern Europeans, people from the Middle East, Latin America, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Each group added something new to the country's culture, turning the United States into one of the most diverse nations on Earth. 2. Canada, a cultural mosaic. Canada is often described not as a melting pot, but as a cultural mosaic, a place where many cultures live side by side. Indigenous nations. For thousands of years, the land was home to First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. From the forests of the east to the vast prairies of the center and the icy Arctic in the north, these groups developed deep connections to the land and rich cultural traditions. French exploration. In the 15 and 1600s, French explorers arrived and established settlements, especially in what is now Quebec. This is why French language and culture remain a major part of Canada's identity today. British influence later. After conflicts between France and Britain, the British took control. They shaped Canada's government, legal system, and many aspects of its modern culture. Modern immigration. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Canada welcomed newcomers from around the world: China, India and Pakistan, the Philippines, the Caribbean, Africa, the Middle East. These communities built a nation where diversity is embraced and protected, creating one of the most multicultural societies in the world. 3. Australia. Ancient culture meets modern migration. Australia may appear modern, but its human history is incredibly ancient. Aboriginal Australians. The Aboriginal peoples have lived in Australia for at least 60,000 years, making their culture one of the oldest continuous civilizations on Earth. They formed hundreds of groups, each with its own languages and spiritual beliefs, many centered around the concept of the dream time, their understanding of creation and the universe. British settlement. In 1770, Captain James Cook claimed the East Coast for Britain, and in 1788, the first British fleet arrived, not with settlers, but with convicts. Australia began as a penal colony where Britain sent more than 160,000 prisoners over several decades. Immigration and modern identity. After the era of convict transportation ended, free settlers from Britain and Ireland began to arrive. Later in the 20th century, Australia welcomed immigrants from Italy, Greece, China, India, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. This transformed the country into a vibrant, multicultural society, blending ancient indigenous heritage with modern global influences. So where do Americans, Canadians, and Australians come from? The United States is shaped by indigenous nations, European settlers, the African diaspora, and immigrants from every continent. Canada is built on indigenous heritage, French and British roots, and a long tradition of multicultural immigration.